At 44, I thought I was untouchable at work. 15 years at the same company, consistent promotions, the kind of institutional knowledge that made me feel safe. I knew every shortcut in our system, every quirk in the boss's moods. Safe, I thought. Indispensable. Then came the layoffs. It was a Tuesday morning in March. I'd barely finished my first cup of coffee when HR called me in. They used the usual words: restructuring, budget constraints, position eliminated. I heard none of it, just the echo of, "Your last day is today." I walked out with a cardboard box, photos of my kids, a coffee mug, a couple of notepads. 15 years of my life reduced to one box. My co-workers avoided my eyes as I passed. I remember sitting in my car afterward, hands on the wheel, unable to start the engine. I wasn't just unemployed, I was untethered. The weeks that followed were brutal. I applied for jobs obsessively. Woke up early just to scroll listings, sent out resumes, tailored cover letters. Silence answered back. Days blurred into nights. My wife tried to be supportive, but I saw the worry lines deepening on her face. Bills didn't pause just because my career had. The lowest point came one afternoon when I overheard my son telling his friend, "Dad's home a lot now. He's different." He didn't mean it cruelly, but it landed heavy. Different meant defeated. Then, almost by accident, something shifted. A neighbor asked if I could help set up her new laptop. "You're good with tech, right?" she said. It was a small thing, installing programs, setting up Wi-Fi, but she was so grateful you'd think I'd rebuilt the machine from scratch. She pressed $50 into my hand despite my protests. That night, my wife said, "Maybe there's something here. People need help with this stuff." So I put up a post on a local community board: "Tech help, computers, phones, Wi-Fi setups. Reasonable rates." The first week, I got 3 calls. Then 5. Then 10. Soon, I was driving around town, fixing printers, untangling Wi-Fi nightmares, rescuing family photos from dying laptops. It wasn't glamorous, but it was needed. And for the first time in months, people looked at me with gratitude instead of pity. Word spread. A small business owner hired me to overhaul her office network. A retired teacher called me her tech wizard after I recovered her lost files. Slowly, I realized I wasn't just fixing machines, I was fixing something in myself. A year later, I turned it into an official business. Reliable Tech Solutions, not the most creative name, but it said what it needed to. I printed business cards, built a simple website, even hired a part-time assistant. My income isn't as high as my corporate salary was, but it's steady, and more importantly, it's mine. The biggest change, though, is how I feel. I don't dread Mondays anymore. I don't sit in sterile meetings, pretending to care about quarterly projections. Instead, I meet people face to face, solve problems that matter to them, and leave with the satisfaction of being useful. My kids see it too. My son, the one who once called me different, now tells his friends, "My dad runs his own business." The pride in his voice is worth more than any paycheck I ever earned. Sometimes, late at night, I think back to that day in March, to the cardboard box in my car. I thought it was the end. But really, it was the beginning. Losing that job stripped me down to nothing, forced me to rebuild from the ground up. And in the rubble, I found something I didn't expect: freedom. The truth is, being laid off gave me back my life. And I wouldn't trade that for anything.